Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Odin, and we're back for some more Urtuk the Desolation today. So the first video we did, that was kind of the start of a campaign, and I was planning on, continuing that video series immediately, but a bunch of stuff got in the way, and it's been almost 2 months now, and the game has updated yet again. And as you can see right here, it's going to break our saves. So I can't use the original save from that first video. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start over, and we're going to try to be a little more consistent this time, and try to kind of not let so much time pass in between videos, so that we don't find ourselves in this situation again too soon. But I'm sure it'll happen again anyway. So basically, the first video was intended to be more of like a beginner's guide or a tutorial. So that's basically how I'm going to rebrand it, as if this was all planned. So now that you, hopefully you've watched that video, and now that you know kind of the mechanics of the game and how it works, we can just start a new campaign and just get right to it. So we're going to go to Start Campaign. And as we know, Urtuk needs to stay alive no matter what. If this guy dies, we lose. As you know, as we talked about, you can choose other classes for him, but I'm going to keep him as the priest, and I'm going to keep our guardian and our berserker. Just like we did, I'm pretty sure we did last time. I'm going to start with an upgraded sword for our guardian and an upgraded big axe for our berserker. Alright, so those are our two items. We're going to put this on adventure. Alright, so it is going to be very challenging. Of course, this is quite challenging and this is very challenging. Where the difference lies, I don't know, but we're going to go with adventure. Alright, there's no way we want to do Iron Man mode. That is not going to happen. Alright, so in a dim prison called the Sanatorium, far underground, far from the light, the maniacal alchemist performs his experiments on unwilling subjects. Here in this grim cell begins the story of Urtuk. For many years was Urtuk bound to the alchemist's workbench. But on this day his fortunes would change. Ferocious blows. The heavy prison door shudders in its frame. Eldrick, Urtuk's friend from the world above. I brought weapons. Here, take them, Eldrick shouts. Hurry, there are too many to kill them all. Well, too late. The sanatorium guards have been summoned. Alright, now, we have played the intro before in our previous video, so I'm going to go ahead and skip it. Alright, so now we're going to go to the world map, and this is where we will begin. Now, real quickly, let's go ahead and look at our party here. So, we have our Guardian, who has the Silver Sword, and our Berserker, who has the Silver Big Axe. And we're going to give the focus ability, Last Stand, we're going to give that to Urtuk, like I believe we did last time. Alright, that's good. Okay, so we'll close this. So now we have to decide where we want to go next. And let's see here. So two brothers, Perarj the Hunter and Balda the Blood Knight, went treasure hunting but ended up in quite a pickle. They've been spotted fighting off the scavengers and are in dire need of assistance. They're to the east of your current position. So there's a chance, just like before, that we will be able to recruit one or maybe both of those people after the fight. Over here we have a well-known monster slayer, Urtuk the Hunter, has descended to a dismal dungeon to dispatch monsters. He's been gone for over a week and may be injured or dead. The dungeon is located to the northwest of you. So, because they mentioned two people here, one is a hunter, one is a blood knight, over here it's just one hunter. Let's try this. Alright, so you clearly recognize a few adventurers behind the barricades defending against scavengers. And of course, remember, scavengers, this would be the, not the class necessarily, but kind of the class of monster that you're against. I can't think of the right word at the moment, of course. Will we help these poor souls? Yes, we will help them. Alright, so let's... we don't need to see this, we've talked about this stuff. So let's survey the battlefield real quick. Alright. So there's really not a lot of room for maneuvering up here. So I would imagine that the majority of the fight is going to take place elsewhere, right? So seeing that they are up here, my guess is they could move this way. They could get down to us through this path right here, it looks like. I don't think there's anything blocking them. So we might... That's probably the way they'll come, because they have to go through spikes. Now, the enemy is not averse to walking through spikes a lot of the times. So they could very well just come through here and come down that way. So it's sometimes kind of hard to determine where you think they're going to go. So we got the two allies here with the blue hexes. Let's plan on everything kind of going down in this general area right here. So what I want to do is I'm going to put the Berserker here and the Guardian here, and of course we always leave the Priest in the back. And we'll start the battle. So the Hunter says, "Travelers, we've fallen upon dire circumstance. Can you aid us against these savages? We've already set some traps that will only harm the enemy. It's safer for you, or it's safe for you to walk over them." Alright, so let's see. So the Priest is moving first, and really we don't want to do anything right now with the Priest. We might, I don't know, get a head start and put lifesteal on somebody. So maybe let's do that for the Berserker. And of course that's going to take a little bit of our Priest's health, but when we kill people, he will consume their corpse and he will get that back, which of course is lovely. Alright, and then of course we're going to end that turn. Now I'm going to bring the Berserker up here, and we'll end his turn. And I want to... we're going to stay in this general area until we see where the enemy is going to move. So I'm going to... I need to give these guys... I don't know if they're going to retreat or not. So I might want to leave them a pathway to come down this way, but I don't know. So I'm just going to move my Guardian here for now until we see what the enemy is going to do. Alright, so as you can see, the enemy, again, has no problem walking through the spikes, which is great news for me. So they've got this guy. We have the Axeman also. This is a Hammerman. And then we have the Marksman, the Archer. So the Archer has a movement range of 3, and his weapon, his crossbow, has a range of 4. So we need to just keep that in mind. It also, oh, he also has tiring crits, so that would not be good. He also has light foot, so he can swap places with his allies and then continue to move. He also has bleeding crits too, man. He's got, wow, and range support. Range support is a great mutator. As it tells you there, when an ally attacks a target in melee, you will basically get a free shot from your ranged dude if he has range support. Alright. So it looks like they're probably going to come down this way. They're eventually going to be in these tiles. And remember, we get an advantage in battle if we have the high ground. So we're probably going to want to move our guys up here and wait for them. The Priest can move here. That's fine. The Berserker, I'm going to put him right here. And we should be protected from this Archer by these obstacles here. He should not be able to shoot through them. Of course, if he had a throwing weapon, he could throw them over. But he does not. So this should be okay. And then I'm going to put the Guardian right next to him. And we'll end that turn. So you saw right there. Okay, alright, so there's a couple things that happen right there. Let's wait for these movements to end. Okay, our allies, allies getting in on the action, that's good. And that's also great that he walked into the spikes again. Okay, so what we saw was Lightfoot in action. The Archer swapped places with an ally and then was able to continue moving. So that was the first thing we saw, and then of course the second was he was able to fire this way because there was nothing blocking his line of sight there. But we were still protected. Okay, so I guess that based on my movement, they decided to go around this way now? I don't know. But we need to take care of this Archer as quickly as we can, is what I would think. I want to keep the Priest out of the Archer's range no matter what, and I have to remember that there's basically a 3 movement range and a 4 tile range for the crossbow, so basically 7 hexes. So he's basically out of range right now. I don't even want to move him, to be honest, so let's just skip that turn. We will be on even ground here, and of course he's going to be at a disadvantage because he's a ranged guy, so I'm going to bring the Berserker right here. And then naturally we're going to do our attack. Remember, when you use a Berserker, you get 2 attacks, but the downside is your foe gets an attack in the middle of those 2. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Alright, and he is destroyed. Alright, so that was relatively quick work that we made of that archer. So we don't have to worry about ranged stuff anymore, and that's a relief. So here's what's going to happen. This guy is clearly going to come around this way. So I'm going to bring the Guardian up here. And remember that the Guardian has a bash skill. I think that's the actual name, right? Yeah. And that means that we can push the enemy 2 hexes. So we might want to use that here soon to knock them into a death zone. But we'll see what happens. Alright, so our ally is moving, taking a shot. Another ally moving. Alright, I expected him to take a lot more damage. That worked out pretty well. We don't have to worry about the archer anymore, so let's move up here. Alright, let's see. Alright, so we'll end that turn. And so with the Guardian, it looks like I could get right up next to him to attack him right now. And I don't think he has an ability. Yeah, no, okay, so he does not appear to have the ability to knock me into these death zones. So I should be alright just moving up here. And we'll go ahead and just do a regular attack. And then here we are with the Berserker. We're just going to step up. And very nice. And just like we talked about in the first video, remember that the Berserker has that skill that allows him to gain bonus damage whenever he is hurt. So that's what you're seeing there. And then we also just unlocked an achievement, or a trait called Mass Killer. And it basically says that when you kill an enemy, you gain 35 speed. We haven't learned it yet. We have to kill 9 more people, either specifically this type of enemy, I don't know exactly what it was, but if we do this 9 more times, we'll unlock that trait. Alright, so we'll move the priest up right here. Alright, now, unfortunately, I don't think... Yeah, we don't have a way to knock this guy into a death zone right now. If I move here, first of all, if I do that, there's either spikes or mud here. I can't tell what it is. So we're not going to move there. So we really don't have a lot of options unless we want to swap. So what I'll do here is I'll swap. Now I don't have Lightfoot, so I can't move again, but that's going to put me in position to hopefully make a better move the next time around. So the Berserker, I don't want him to walk through the spikes, but it might be something that we do anyway. So let's just take it. We'll take the damage. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the priest here, and I'm going to give Aegis to the Guardian so that if he gets hit on this next strike, he will not take any damage. Alright, so our allies are helping us out right here. That's great. Okay, now he hit the ally instead of me, but that's okay. And we can move right here. And there we go. Alright, so, if you hadn't come, we would have perished for sure. We're adventurers, and one of us, okay, I was hoping we would get 2 people, but he says one of us would like to accompany you on your journey. And we got the Hunter, which is great because ranged units are fantastic. I prefer Javelineers, but an Archer is great. And then we have a Steel Shield too, which is good. Alright, so over here we have some Trillium and some Life Essence, and we actually have enough Life Essence to extract one of these mutators. Now, the fact that we just got an Archer, I don't know if he has range support. He did when he was our ally. Or was that the enemy I was looking at? I already forgot. Let's try to... Range support is really helpful, but so is Lightfoot, so I'm kind of torn here. I'm really kind of torn. The issue is this is 22 essence and this is 22, so obviously that would be 44 essence if we wanted to get both, but we only have 41, so that's disappointing. I'm going to get range support. I'm gonna get range support. Alright, so we go to our party. First of all, we're gonna look at our steel shield and see, okay, this is an iron shield with a protection of 170, and this is protection of 332. Obviously, we're gonna swap that out. This is really not gonna be of much use to us right now, so we can salvage it for some trillium. Now, obviously, if we want range support, it's gonna go on a ranged character. Now we can see he has Lightfoot, which is great. Actually, that was the other mutator, so that's actually really good. So we're gonna put range support here. And again, what that does is that when an ally attacks target in melee and this guy has a clean line of sight, if he's in range, he will fire at them without having to spend a turn, which is just great. Alright, so like last time, in the first video, I want to rename my guys because I'm a simple person, and I need to have names that tell me exactly what's going on. And we're gonna call this guy, I bet you can't guess. I bet you can't guess. That's right. Okay? So this is how I know them, and it makes sense to me. I know it's kind of foolish, but it makes sense to me, and that's what matters right now. Alright, so we'll close that, and we'll make sure that we get a quick save going on. Okay, so we could backtrack if we wanted to and go this way to try and get possibly another hunter, but we've already got a hunter, so we don't really need that. And not every battle you fight is going to end with you recruiting somebody, but in the beginning it's fairly common, for obvious reasons. So, a group of soldiers has been sent to eradicate scavengers to the east of you. However, scouts are reporting they failed their task and they are now retreating. Over here, there's just nothing going on. That's just another node. Let's just get into another fight. We can see a village down here, too. Okay, badly wounded soldiers are defending their positions against a handful of scavengers. From the looks of it, they won't last long. Alright, difficulty's easy. Let's help them. Alright. So let's, as always, take a look at the battlefield. This is, it's kind of similar to the previous battlefield. So here's the enemy. They have base, yeah, I would guess that they're going to try to come down through here, maybe also through here. And honestly, who the hell knows, they might come all the way around. So this is all fair game. And I really wouldn't put it past them to walk straight through all these spikes. That would be devastating for whoever did it, but you never know. But I'm not counting on them going this way. Looks like we got some mud here, which will slow someone down who steps in it. So here's what we're going to do. These guys are fleeing. I don't know how brave they're going to be, so I don't know if I can count on them right now. Let's put our Berserker right here. Let's put... Actually, yeah, let's put the Archer up here too. Let's get the Guardian and just bring him... Put him right there. And Priest, just put him in the back for now. Because I want to see if these guys are going to move. Alright, that should be good for our starting position. Now, again, they do have a ranged guy. But I think that's the only ranged guy we have to worry about. Or does this guy... I don't think this guy throws things. We'll find out in a minute. Okay, so this Spearman says, they want us dead. Help, please. I've injured my leg, but I'll try to make it to your position. Hold the enemy back while we make the retreat. Okay, so they are going to be retreating, looks like. And they have had some damage done to them already. Alright, so it's going to be my turn first. Here's what I want to do. And luckily, it's the Archer's turn, and he's kind of... I want him to be the vanguard at the beginning of the match. I want him to get in here and get a shot or two off before the enemy can make contact with us. Now, yes, this does possibly open him up for retaliation if this guy gets to move, but we can see in the order that their Archer is going to be the first guy to move. So he's going to be able to move up, and he's going to be able to shoot me. It's going to happen. The question is, would I be able to hit anyone from here? And the answer is probably no, but let's double check. Our crossbow, well, it has the same range as the enemy, which is 4. So we would not be able to hit anyone on that particular turn. So I might want to put someone who's a little tougher up front to absorb that first shot. Another thing we could do is we could not move at all and just kind of bait the enemy into coming down towards us. And I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm gonna do that, but first... Actually, okay, yeah. I think we'll do that. Yeah, let's just skip that turn. I'm gonna go ahead and put Aegis on the archer just in case. So whenever he gets hit by the enemy, he won't take any damage. Berserker might actually be safer, because the archer could go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if he could hit. I think he'll be fine right here. And the Guardian, again, I'm a bit wary, but I'm just going to move him up here. Alright, so let's see what they choose to do. Alright, so they're going to take a shot at our allies. Hey, I'm fine with that, as long as they're not attacking me. Alright, so our allies, again, they're going to try to flee. Okay, that's not bad. Okay. Alright, so let me take a look at this guy real quick. So he's an assassin. He has a movement range of 4. Now, he has the duelist. That's the same thing that the Berserker has, I think. But this looks slightly different. That's also a focus ability, so he can't use that until his focus meter is full. So we may not have to concern ourselves with that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open ourselves up for some damage, but I don't care. Now is the time. So I'm gonna move here, and I'm gonna take a shot. Alright, pretty good, pretty good. Alright. I'm gonna move the priest. Now, we gotta make sure these guys have a place to run to, but I'm gonna put the priest just right there. And the Berserker's gonna move up. Alright, remember he gets 1 hit, counterattack, and then a second, with bonus damage. Now, this guy did some acid damage. Now, there's that range support. Remember, our archer was within range. I thought that his line of sight was blocked, but it wasn't, thank God. So that's that range support mutator in action. That is a great mutator. Alright. Let's move our Guardian up here. And this way, hopefully, when the archer moves again, which is going to be next, if he is going to shoot, because he will have a friendly fire possibility. If he is going to shoot, hopefully he'll choose the Guardian. I remember, yeah, I did put Aegis on this guy, but I would still rather he hit the Guardian, because he's just tougher. Okay, so he shot, he didn't hit anybody. There's our Aegis absorbing all the damage. Alright, this guy moves in. Alright, again, our allies trying to flee. Now, you see, we got a little bit of health back because we killed someone. Now, I am going to move the priest over here, and I am going to put lifesteal on the Berserker. And then I'm going to step back as far as I can go. Alright, so now our archer. So, sometimes, let's check here. Let me look at the archer's stuff. There's sometimes a penalty when a ranged person attacks from melee range, and I don't remember exactly how it works. I think we would be fine just to shoot this guy right here. I don't think it would matter. So we could do that. Oh, that's what it is. It's counter ranged. Okay, that's what it is. So if you fire from melee range, the enemy gets a counterattack, which is, I mean, it's kind of rough, but it's okay. Now, if I simply attack this guy with my Guardian, you can see up on his health bar how much damage I'm going to do. It's not going to kill him. And you see that the total damage is 92. If I were to do this bash, it's the same amount of damage, but since I'll be pushing him into a wall, it says right here, units bashed or pushed into objects are stunned. So I'm going to do that. So he not only takes the damage, but he was bashed into a solid object and he is stunned for a round. His friend just killed him with friendly fire. Now that's bad. That's bad. We don't want our archer to fall here. It seems, now you would think that I would... Oh, this is a tough decision who to go for, because I could do a lot of damage to this guy, but this guy is the real threat for the moment. And if I get over here, we should get crits, because I have an ally directly on the other side of him. So if I move here and attack, we did a lot of damage. And we're going to get a second attack. And there you go. And yes, he was stunned, but he does get that counterattack, obviously. Alright, now just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put Aegis again on our archer, and then I'm going to get behind here so I can't get shot. And then we're going to move the Guardian up, and we're going to do something similar to last time. We're going to bash him into the wall. So he is stunned. Take another shot here. Now you see here that this icon that pops up right here, that's that friendly fire warning, so we don't want to take that shot. Instead, I'm going to step to the side. We got a crit, not bad at all. The priest, I'm just going to have him chill for a minute. And then bring the berserker up to finish this guy off. And there you go. Alright, so one of the survivors says, "You guided us to safety with great leadership, and everyone survived. One of our brothers, Rithan the Spearman, has seen better days and wants to leave our company for yours. Good luck, friends." That's great news. So we do get a Spearman in our party now. And we also got a steel crossbow. We got some more Trillium. And some more life essence. And you can see there are 3 potential mutators that we could extract. We can do bleeding crits. We can do acid damage. In my experience, the acid damage doesn't seem to... it just doesn't seem to do a whole lot of damage. I don't know. Now, you can remember, you can rank up your mutators, but I don't know. Now, Sharp Eyes, I don't even know if I've seen that before. On a critical hit, there's a 46% chance to pierce armor. That's interesting. We're going to go with bleeding crits. So whenever you get a crit, it causes bleeding. That's obviously fantastic. So we're going to take that. And we'll go to our party. Now, we have picked up a Spearman, but first, we have an iron crossbow here. Now we have a steel crossbow. You can see the difference in damage, 67 and 87. So we'll switch that out. We're not going to need that for now. Get rid of it. Alright, that's the first thing. Then we have to decide who do we want to give bleeding criticals to for now. Now, again, I'm referencing back to the previous video, but remember that when you get multiple copies of a mutator, you can merge them together to rank them up. So when we look at this bleeding crits right here, down there at the bottom it says mutator level 1, negative 10% max HP. So although this will give us bleeding crits, okay, it will also lower our max HP for whoever equips the mutator. Then it says next level, negative 6% max HP. So the negative effect is reduced as you rank it up. So it is in your interest, of course, to rank up your mutators, because that not only makes them more effective, it makes them less, or have less negative side effects. Alright, so I'm going to give bleeding crits probably to the berserker for now. And now over here, we have our Spearman, and of course, I need to change his name to Spearman, so I know exactly what's going on here. Now the Spearman has the spear wall mechanic is interesting, so I hope we'll get to use that. But it's basically something where you what's the word I'm looking for? You trigger it, and basically when an enemy comes at you, they basically you get a free attack, and it not only does damage, but it pushes them away, which is a fantastic trait to have. Okay, so nobody has leveled up yet, so everyone's still level 1. As always, we need to have a quick save, right? And alright, so we'll go ahead and end this episode right here. I want to thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it, I really do. And I hope you guys enjoy Urtuk the Desolation. This is a great game, and we're going to follow it in detail. We're going to follow it closely, basically for the rest of Early Access would be my plan, because I love it. So, again, thank you guys for hanging. If you have not already done so, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that too. And I will see you guys next time for another episode of Urtuk the Desolation.